There are three things that I would like to talk about today. The first being the relationship that we have with cars so far. The second being what Praveg has been doing for the last 9 years. And the third being our first commercial product. So let's get started. So far, there's one paradigm to establish, which is electric cars are here to stay. They're awesome fun, they're super efficient, and they're extremely scalable as a product to scale in terms of technology across the world. So they're here to stay. We can see that in a lot of other matrices such as market capitalization, etc., etc. If you look at all the green ones, they're pure electric companies for the last 5-6 years. But that does not change or shape our relationship with cars today. I mean, we are still living in a very, very exhaustive world. From the selection of the electric vehicle itself or the vehicle itself, to the parking, to the insurance, to the EMI, it is a nightmare. The servicing, etc., etc. It's really not a comfortable experience overall. Right. So what we're looking at is in fact a graveyard of Volkswagen because of a recall that they had. And every single company in the world today is restarting from zero. Every single company in the world is starting for this new paradigm from zero. So we're going to see a lot more recalls. We're going to see a lot more teething issues that come around in any product. And those decisions are imperative while we are purchasing our cars. And the other big sector, in fact, is the planned obsolescence. So today, when we buy the cars, they will be outdated very, very rapidly. In any technology's life cycle development, the first few years, we will be paying the cost for those developments, for that development of cost. So, along with the exhausting status quo, we're also living in a very, I wouldn't call it dystopian, but let's call it dystopian, in a society or in a technological realm, which is very, very deeply data-driven, which includes every aspect of our life, which includes every single thing that we do. It may or may not be a good thing, but it definitely is a large challenge in terms of what our decisions or what our sovereignty allows us for. The other thing that along with this plays in is we lose control of our products. We lose control over the servicing. I mean, if you think services are bad today, wait till the electric cars kick in. I mean, the servicing is a nightmare, especially in India or in most of the world, where there is no qualified technician. It's going to take 10, 15 years. It's going to be like an iPhone, only a 50 lakh rupee iPhone, which you cannot get repaired anywhere. And the third challenge is the AI. It's a challenge and it's a boon. It depends on how we are in a relationship with it. Mostly, the direction or the trajectory that so far the world has taken, it doesn't seem very promising. So along with the servicing, the AI, the living in 27/7, the exhausting status quo, that is the number of megawatts required for us to have any lower bound of meaningful electric vehicles on road in India. That is the total power generation of India today. So we're looking at a 6x increase in not just the base power requirement, but a 6x increase in the absolute power capacity of India today, just to be able to serve a very, very lower bound number of electric car deployment. Now, who brings these resources? Cities around the world, countries around the world are really in a dogma and a dilemma. Where do we get these resources from? Countries such as Japan, China, America, or even the European Union as a continent, they are able to afford a certain kind of disinvestment or a certain kind of investment into resources which are not optimally utilized. However, that may be a challenge in the rest of the world outside of these few geographies. Even more than a challenge, it's a question of opportunity cost. Do we really want to pour resources into something which is not going to be utilized? I mean, the cars that we have are utilized less than 4-5% of their usable life. So it's really a question of what else can we do with our resources? And the answer is a lot. There's a lot of stuff we can do with our resources. Is this really the best place to deploy them? And the other challenge, of course, with the whole data issue is the sovereignty. We lose our sovereignty, not just as consumers, but as cities or as countries. We lose sovereignty over our decision-making power, over what happens with our data, over what happens with the vehicles. With one attacker, we can lose control over the entire fleet of an autonomous robotaxi system. With one cyber threat, with one cyber attack, we can be on a standstill an entire nation. And that's not a very far call. In fact, that's happening around the world. If you look at Uber or Ola and certain jurisdictions around the world, those challenges are real and they've started to take place. That does not leave us with a law of redundancy. We become extremely entrenched in a single point of failure.